What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, it was not my intention to review this video. We're about a week past the arrest and charging of a mother and her 14-year-old son in the city of Chicago with murder. And I wasn't going to say anything about it. I saw the story immediately because I comb the news on a daily basis. But I got a couple messages and people asked for my thoughts on this story. So here I am to provide them. And I'm glad that I didn't react right away. Because when you get a story immediately, sometimes the evidence is sparse, sometimes the facts are blurry, and we can jump to conclusions. In this case, a mother was charged. And the latest news that we have as of now is that the charges have been dropped. Not only the murder one, but the manslaughter. All the lesser charges have been dropped against this mother and her son. So let's check out what's going on in this story. It appears that a mother pulled up to a food spot late at night. Her son had the blick. I guess he was acting as bodyguard, protector, at 14 years old, but it turned tragic. The results were unfortunate. So you see him pull up. Mom is in a nightgown with a bonnet. She pulls in there, goes in without the son. You see her getting her food. She's ordering her food all ungirded out in the middle of the night. Y'all, let me stop here. My people. If you feel like you're not my people, you're free to turn away. But I need to talk to my people for a second here. Can we stop eating fried chicken and pizza and hot dogs and all things detrimental to our health? If we're going to eat that stuff, can we at least not go out in the middle of the night and put this stuff in our system at midnight, knowing that we're not going to walk it off, knowing that we going home to lay down on it and let it percolate in our belly and do nothing but bad things to our bodies? Can we stop this? Can we be more healthy? Because I tell you, if this woman hadn't been craving detrimental food in the middle of the night, this actually wouldn't have happened. Because she wouldn't have had her son out in the middle of the night with the blick. She wouldn't have walked in there, got into a verbal confrontation with this man that she obviously didn't know. And we wouldn't be talking about it today. This situation could have been avoided. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of y'all might jump to conclusion and think I'm blaming this woman. I am not. This man should have never put his hands on a woman. In my personal opinion, this is the worst kind of simp. An emotional boy in a man's body who can't control his emotions, can't control his temper. And yes, of course, as we try to process this, we say, what could she possibly have said to set this man off? But as a mature, educated, law-abiding man, ain't nothing you can say to me verbally that could set me off in a rage like this. Words don't hurt me like that. Even the N-word. People are so sensitive about that N-word, that magic word. That word don't mean nothing to me. You can call me that up and down, but that ain't who I am. So you just talking. That word only has the power that we give it. If we remove its power, it's a word like any other, means nothing, shouldn't trigger us, shouldn't upset us, especially if we know that that ain't who we are. I know. Let me get into this video. I'm talking.
Get your food. Who? Get in the car. Who? Nay. Get your food.
Now look. I scanned the internet trying to find videos of this because every clip that I saw, somehow her voice was muted. I don't know what conspiracy set out to paint this man in a certain light and paint this woman in a different light. But I had to search to find a video that included audio of her voice. As you can see, they chirping back and forth. It's not just a man barking at a woman, but she clapping back. Or maybe she's clapping first, because we don't know how this altercation started. But what could have been said to set this man off in this kind of way? This wuss, this wimp that goes on to put hands on a woman because she chirping? Come on, bro. That's lame. That's weak. Come on, bro. Walk away. De-escalate. Come on, man. We gotta be better than this, y'all. But when I see a man, and I'm looking at his body language, when I see his movements and he say, like this movement right here, that he about to snap. And he said, lady, get your food. Just get your food and go. If you say one more thing, this is a man at his wit's end. This man is at the end of his fuse, however short it is. This man is at the end of his fuse. So we can assess this situation and see what's about to happen. We know what's about to go down. And when he signals her to stop chirping, she does not. She continues, and as he promised, on his grandmama, I believe he said, he didn't put it on the hood, he didn't put it on his dead homies, he put it on his grandmama. Lady, if you say one more thing. And he was true to it. He bombed on her like he was hitting a man. He bombed on her like he was trying to knock her out. And shame on this 32-year-old man who chose to wimp out and put his hands on a woman. He bombed on her multiple times and didn't knock her out. Bro, you need to hit the gym. Bro, you need to hit the punching bag. Well, it's over for you now, so I guess that point is moot. Let's continue.
Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Prosecutors say a mother repeatedly encouraged her 14-year-old son to shoot someone. Carlicia Hood got into an argument with Jeremy Brown at a Maxwell Street Express last weekend, and at some point, Brown punched her. The entire incident was caught on surveillance video. Police allege that Hood's son then shot Brown in the back and continued firing once outside. Hood has since been charged with murder.
Now, let me stop it because I need to be clear. I don't think this woman should go to jail. And I am upset that there are no winners in this circumstance. The man who lost his life, L. The woman who may have provoked it all, L. The 14-year-old boy who was forced to murder a man to save his mother. Well, that's the biggest L. Because he has to carry that weight as a boy who is still developing, who is still maturing, whose mind may not be able to grasp the gravity of what happened. It can go a couple ways. It can cause him mental trauma and cause him to recoil, be softer. Or it can take an opposite effect and cause him to be harder and say, I got a body at 14. I didn't catch no case. I ain't got no legal troubles. I'm out here. I had the blick. I used it. I'm on point with it. I got the results I wanted with it. A man is dead and I'm still here with the blick that my mama told me it was cool to have and it was cool to use. I did my job, right? In this young boy's mind, these thoughts. I heard another YouTuber address the boy and call him a son husband. And I thought to myself, wow, that is so appropriate. Because we ain't heard nothing in this story about this boy's daddy. And that's one of the first things that comes to my mind when I see a story like this. Boy, where is your daddy? And if your daddy was around, why is your mama out at midnight at the little hot dog spot getting food with you, her son, holding a gun as a security guard? Because they know where they live at. They understand what's going on. It's Chicago. You gonna go out in the middle of the night and make a food run with your son where his daddy at? Well, I released a video a couple days ago and some of y'all came for me in the comments talking about community this, community that. And I challenged the PhD in that video. I said, who is community? Who is we? Are y'all telling me that brothers who stand by their families, brothers who raise their kids right in the fear of Almighty God, who are there from day one and don't leave their family, are you telling me that these brothers are in community with this brother in the food spot that bombed on this woman? Are you telling me that brothers who go to college, invest in real estate, invest in stocks, and build up a treasure, generational wealth for their family, they marry a woman, they have kids with that one woman, and they secure the family? You telling me that these men are in community with the 14-year-old boy walking around with a blick? They lucky in that food spot that he didn't have a Glock with a switch on it. Because he'd have let loose on that trigger and everybody would have died, because these little young, scrawny dudes can't control him. I'm looking at the situation now saying, wow, he hit him multiple times. The boy actually can shoot better than average, or he shot him at point blank range. Now, if you go back and you look at that footage and you see where the man was positioned and where the woman was positioned and where the door is positioned, it makes sense. The boy came through the door, he shoots the man in the back. But according to news reports, the man got shot and he ran out the door. So you shoot him, he gets off your mama, he runs. Your mama say go and hit him a couple more times, allegedly, according to news reports. So you run the man down outside and hit him a couple more times to make sure he gone? Well, I'm a 2A advocate, y'all, and I always encourage people in the community to get armed and get trained, but I've never taken a training class that said it's okay in any state to run down a man who is retreating and put a couple more in him just to put him down. I understand eliminating the threat, but if the man is running after you already put one in him, he's no longer a threat. If you go after him and you put a couple more in him to put him down, that's murder. So to say that the charges have been dropped and these people get to walk free, that is a reflection on the liberal politicians in Chicago. You got a black mayor, you got a black DA, and they saying You murked this man, and we okay with it. We're going to drop the charges. We're going to let you go free. Well, this man had a family too. Yeah, he was wrong. He never should have touched this woman. But the right thing to do would have been to arm this woman who had a carry permit. Let me correct myself. She had a firearm owner permit. I don't know in Chicago if that is the equivalent of a license to carry, but she had an owner's permit. She should have walked in there with that thing on her. And if that man bombed on her, she should have hit him quick. That's self-defense. If her son comes to her aid and he hits the man and he gets off his mother, that's self-defense. But if you walk him down and you put more lead in him to finish the job, that's murder, bro. And in any other state, under any other circumstances, you would be charged. So this, to me, feels like a Black Lives Matter circumstance. Like, it's okay for us circumstance. Now, I heard in one report on the internet, allegedly by another news source, that the gentleman who got shot had escaped a murder charge because they couldn't prove it. He may have been a murderer himself. And y'all, this is what I talk about when I discuss community. Y'all telling me that I have to accept this as my community? My community don't get down like that. And it's not about race. It's about common decency. It's about man's humanity to man and being able to interact with each other on a certain level. This video is grimy from beginning to end, with the little marshmallow man who can't control his emotions and goes off and bombs on a woman. She should have shot him right there. But that's not how this story went, which complicates things. Now we got a 14-year-old killer. I need you to put yourself in his shoes and understand the psychological impact that will have on a boy raised in this situation whose daddy ain't nowhere mentioned in his story, whose mama got him carrying a gun at midnight in Chicago. Are y'all feeling me? Let me shut up. Let me go back to this video because I may have said too much.
Breathing in. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm just spelling my name, Ari, Attorney Ari Williams, A-R-I Williams, common spelling. Thank you all for being here today. I want to first thank the Cook County State's Attorney, Kim Fox, for doing the right thing and dismissing the charges. This is what justice looks like. I also want to acknowledge everyone who has been impacted by this in any way. To everyone who has supported Ms. Hood and her family through this trying time, we thank you. Yesterday, criminal charges of first-degree murder were dismissed against Ms. Hood and her 14-year-old son, rightfully so. Now that she is free, we think it is important that her story is told and that she is heard.
All right, now I've told y'all before I have a law degree, so this is my bag, okay? I understand what's going on here. This looks like a low budget production of an ambulance chasing lawyer who has got a hold of this woman and said, hey, we can get a bag off this. We know you killed a man. Allegedly. But we can find a way to go after the city of Chicago. Hold on now. We're not going to sue the little food spot for not having adequate security, because when we size them up, we know they bag ain't big enough. But if we can find a way to go after the city of Chicago, well, we know that's the taxpayers' bag. We know how big that bag is. We know we got a black mayor and a black DA. Let's press this with some black lawyers and really make an exchange here. So ironic that the very people who could have put you in jail forever but chose to drop the charges, and then you come back with a lawsuit against the very city who chose not to prosecute you. This reeks of some Black Lives Matter garbage. But I'm gonna stop. Let's continue.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carlisha, Carlish.
Now notice, if they were a big time law firm, they would have had you down at City Hall with a podium with a whole media spread. This is in the conference room at the little law firm with the little backdrop over the whiteboard at the little law firm in the shopping center next to the grocery store. Let's continue.
IA. Last name is Hood, Hood. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support for me and my family. On June 18th of this year, my life changed. My son's life changed. I've experienced pain in many ways that I would never have thought, never. What happened to me was totally unnecessary. Never in a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested. I am thankful that the Cook County State's Attorney dismissed the case. I am also thankful to have my son with me and by my side, and also his charges being dismissed. I thank my family for supporting me and the people all over the world. The people did not play. Yeah. And I just thank God everything was revealed. And just everybody who has been praying and rooting for us, I just thank God for them. That did not go unnoticed. You are all not forgotten. And we are praying for all the families affected by this horrible tragedy. I am now in the process of healing and putting my family's life back together. During this trying time, we ask if, we can please have space to rest and recover from this life-altering situation, and that you all continue to keep us in your prayers. In the near future, I will be able to respond to outpouring of support. Again, I just need a little time to heal and to just get my life back with my baby. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Here come the tears. We knew that was coming because that's the way these things are scripted. Let's play on the emotions of the public and see if that can get us a bag. I wonder if her legal counsel advised her prior to this press conference that it would be good if you were able to show your emotion. in the situation. Now, if you notice, ain't a scar on this woman. It looked like our guy haven't landed a single punch. He didn't blacken your eye. He didn't swell your lip. It looked like this simp who deserved a bullet in his tail. Looks like he missed every single time. Girl, you look good. You look fine. Don't look like nothing wrong with you. Let's see if she can muster up some real tears in this circumstance.
Take your time, baby.
That's it. Yeah, I know.
It's all right, Color. It's all right, baby. You're strong. You're strong.
Oh, Jesus.
You're strong. You got this. God bless you.
Y'all, we know what this situation is. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity with media coverage, media frenzy, and nationwide attention in the city of Chicago with some facts that point us to a ghetto situation that resulted in the death of a black man in this community that y'all talk about when you come for me in the comments. A black man is dead. And a boy, 14 years old, may be traumatized because he had to kill a man. He had to take a life. But how quickly we redirect our attention to a lawsuit against the city of Chicago, as this gentleman lays out here for a false arrest for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Whew. That's a good one, bruh. You're going to have to prove that these officers who arrested this woman and son who murdered a man were intentional in their infliction of emotional distress upon these people. That was their intent, not their training, not their job. They arrested you because they intentionally wanted to mess with your head. Okay, malicious prosecution. We gonna try that one? Well, she wasn't prosecuted. As far as I can see in the news reports, she wasn't even arraigned. She was detained by law enforcement, her and her son, and subsequently set free. So where's the malicious prosecution, y'all? This is why I, in the position I am in, having the same training by an ABA law school of these people sitting here on this panel. This is why I do not like lawyers, even though I have paid them hundreds of thousands of dollars to represent me in court over the years. I do not like lawyers because you come up with the ambulance chasing mentality. And I'm not necessarily ascribing that to this law firm. But when people talk about lawyers and call them ambulance chasers, you have to be able to assess the situation and see if the shoe fits. I'll leave that up to y'all. Let's continue.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Attorney Brandon Brown. That's Brandon, last name Brown, BRWN. This morning, we filed a 4-count complaint on behalf of Carlisha Hood. This complaint is being filed against the city of Chicago and the defendant officers who were responsible for her arrest. The complaint contains counts of malicious prosecution, false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We do not take what happened to Ms. Hood lightly, and we intend to pursue this lawsuit, and there will be additional lawsuits forthcoming. I want to add that Ms. Hood and myself, we recognize that there has been a life loss, and so we are praying for the family of this man who lost his life. I don't want that to be forgotten. We appreciate that lives were affected by this incident, and so we don't want to dilute or diminish that. However, Ms. Hood and her son, we believe were wrong, and we intend to pursue that. Ms. Hood is not going to be answering any direct questions. Myself and Attorney Williams will be answering a limited number of questions. However, once Ms. Hood has time, and keep in mind that Ms. Hood was just released yesterday afternoon, and so she needs time. But once she is able to process and reconnect with her family, she will present herself again, and we will make her available, but not right now. We're asking that you give her space. We understand that there have been a number of people going to her home, attempting to contact her at her home. We also recognize that there have been things going on in the World Wide Web that may not necessarily be genuine or without malice.
Yes.
And so we would ask each and every one of you out there to keep this family in your prayers. Protect this family.
Yes.
Protect this family. And I have good reason to believe that they need protection. And with that, we would open it up to any questions.
Wow. All right, y'all, I'm not interested in his answers to questions, even though we have questions of our own. I'm sure that if we posed them to him, he would not answer them. Where's this boy's daddy? Why did this 14-year-old boy have a weapon? What kind of weapon was it? What was the caliber? What was the manufacturer and model of this weapon this boy was carrying at midnight? I'm sure he wouldn't answer those questions in the press conference. But it struck me that he said that there may be some things going on the internet that may not be without malice. Wow, bruh. We understand what that is. That's a shot at vloggers. That's a shot at content creators, that if you talk about this case and you say something we don't like, we may come for you. He said there are more lawsuits coming. And this is the reason why people hate lawyers. Because of people like this. If you're a content creator, if you're out here in these internet streets talking about different things, you better keep you some lawyer money on deck. Because every now and then, an ambulance chaser will rise up and come for you. I hope that in the instance that happens, that you're prepared. Because just as Black Lives Matter will burn down your building, burn down your neighborhood, set your community on fire. It's people like this who will burn down your channel, try to burn down your influence, and set your business aflame. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time. Peace.